welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing in trade as well. We'll get you expert views to find out where exactly should you be keeping your focus as far as the markets are concerned, where should you be buying, adding on positions, or where should you be even booking your profits in this current market sell-off that you're witnessing. Let's first up take a look at how the markets are doing at this point in time. Both the benchmarks, the Nifty and the sensex at this point in time are flat as flat can be. You can see just a 5-point surge on the Nifty. It just is managing to stay afloat above the flat line, 19,680 currently on the Nifty 50. The Nifty Bank is at 44,772, 166 points higher in trade. The sensex up by 30 points at 66,041 at the current levels. Let's also look at the other indices, the broader markets, the mid and the small cap indices as well, to see where is the action really emerging in from the markets currently. On the mid cap 100 and on the small cap 100 index, remember they were trading with muted gains in the morning first half of the trading session. Right now, if you look at the mid and the small cap 100 indices, you'll be able to find that the mid caps have actually shot up quite sharply from the day's low point. About 0.75% of a surge can actually be seen on this one. 40,440 currently on the Nifty mid cap 100 index. The small cap 100 index is also at 12,489. Although this one is just flat about 0.1% in trade as well. Let's also look at the other sectoral movers at this point in time. Among these sectors, you can actually see gains come in on the financial services pack today. Apart from it, it's the realty space that is up by 1.5% almost, and it's the top most sectoral gainer currently, followed by gains in consumer durables, private banks as well. As the PSU banks are absolutely flat at this point with just a positive bias. So the Nifty Bank is up in trade about 0.35% in trade, and that's on the back of the financial services and the private banks currently. And the realty space, healthcare, consumer durables, the other movers at this point in time right here. When we talk about the top gainers on the Nifty pack, you will be able to spot a lot of names coming in. When we talk about names coming in from the consumer durables basket, you can also see the Bajaj twins holding up to their gains right from the morning trade. We saw the Bajaj Finance counter holding that top position just when the markets had hit open, and as we inch closer to the day's close, it's up by 5% at 78.33 odd levels. A remarkable move coming in today ahead of the fundraise board meeting that is likely to take place on October 5. Bajaj Finserv follows next. Apollo Hospitals, all of them are up in trade by about 2.5% each. Let's also look at some of the other counters that are moving in trade apart from the Bajaj twins and Apollo Hospitals. We'll also get our guest, in right now. Kush Godasara also joins right in, market expert. Kush, welcome to the show and thank you so much for taking the time out. All right, we'll try and connect with the guest in a bit, but Tata Consumers, Coal India, Kotak Mahindra Bank, these are the other movers at this point in time. On the losing side, however, let's also look at the Nifty top losers. So let's look at the names like Hindalco, SBI Life, Infosys. These are the laggards at this point, the stocks that are not really contributing to the gains in the markets right here. Kush Godasara is now with us. Kush, welcome to the show and thank you so much for taking the time out. Your thoughts on the overall market setup? Remember that just about 10 days ago, we were quite bullish about the market setup, and no matter the headwinds, like talk about crude oil prices, the dollar index, the rising inflation, come what may, the markets were not really worried about any of the macro global setup. But what has changed over the last week is that we've seen 2.5% to 3% loss for the Nifty already, a 3% fall on the Nifty Bank. What is really changing for the markets, and is this something that one should keep an eye out on? Could this worsen for the markets? Could we see deeper corrections now?
Definitely, what we have seen in last 3 months, in fact, starting the lows from 10th of April, we had seen a good rally and we had anticipated good results. So I think everything, which we are hearing on a fundamental side in this quarter is already been discounted. And we are seeing some sell-off from financial institutions, foreign financial institutions. So I think overvaluation is what, making long-term investor liquidate some profits. And I think, still it's not getting worse. This is maybe a small technical correction, But yes, if we break 19,200 on Nifty, things may get worse. For this week, maybe 19,600 spot level is a good support. So if you're a short-term trader, you can liquidate your long positions below 19,600 this week.
Okay. Let me also come to you on specific sectors and segments and take your views there. Today, we are looking at the railways pack showing some kind of a buzzing trend. IRCTC, IRFC, RVNL, these kind of stocks are up in trade. We do know that in the last 3-4 months, or the railway space has really shown a lot of momentum. What has suddenly come back for the railways right now, and is there a space? Is this a space that you're also tracking closely? Would you want to suggest any names that you may be bullish on right now from this space?
Definitely, I think Indian Railways are like a monopoly business. I mean, we don't have any other option. If you want to travel on rail, we have to go through, say, IRCTC website. So I think for long term, I am very much bullish on IRCTC because, in a short term, looking at the last 5 years trend, they are very low beta. These stocks only move on some news or pre-budget rally. So I think, as a short-term trader, I want to suggest in trading on these stocks but if you're a long-term investor, I think IRCTC is still at good levels. We have not seen much momentum since last 5 years. So you can buy IRCTC with a stop loss of 600 for long term. That is minimum you of 2 years. You may achieve 900 levels in coming year.
Okay, so IRCTC is where you're bullish on and the momentum can sustain over here. The second pocket that is buzzing in trade today is the sugar space. We're looking at stocks like Balrampur Chini, also one of the top gainers in the FNO space today. Stocks like Triveni Sugar and Sri Renuka Sugar, all of them are buzzing in trade. Balrampur Chini right now 6.4% up in trade. Definitely the top gainer on the FNO space right now as we speak as well. We'd started by talking about it when the markets had opened, and what a move that we've seen here towards the end of the session as well. What view do you have on the entire sugar space, since this is always seen as a cyclical story and ahead of the festive season there could be a spirit like that, but now things are also changing with respect to the structural move on the story, because we are talking about the ethanol story where the government is pretty bullish on. How are you looking at this entire space, and which are the top stocks that you would like to advise investors to keep their focus on in case they're interested in the sugar story?
Definitely, you are pretty much right that before a festive season, these stocks are cyclical. But this time it's also about, crude oil prices. I mean, there are many foreign reports, brokerage reports suggesting that crude oil might touch $150 next year. So that is going to be positive for ethanol. So I think, sugar stocks are going to have a good time, cyclical. We saw PSU banks giving a good move in last 3 months. But I think next 3 months could be for sugar sector. Renuka Sugar is my pick because that is one of the stock which has underperformed the sector. Last year we saw it touching 70, but it's still way below even last year's 52-week high. So I think one can invest in Renuka Sugars for 6 months. Stop loss would be around 48, which is a 50-day average. On the upside, I think we could see 86 level by March.
Okay. The other space that is buzzing in trade today is also, again, when we are talking about the festive spirit, the entire consumer durable space. And this index is also up by about 0.5% today. Several of the stocks from this basket are up in trade. Of course, on the NIFTY pack, it's led by Tata Consumer Products. This was also a top pick of Akshay Bhagwat, our technical guest in the morning trading session today. 2.4% higher for Tata Consumer Products right now. Now, when we see the NIFTY consumer durable sector, and let me just look at the constituents in the winning space here, and you can see Kajaria Ceramics 3% higher in trade, Blue Star 2% up in trade. You have Voltas, V-Guard, TTK Prestige, Havells, Titan, all of them in buzzing in trade as well. Any particular counters from the consumer durables that you'd be bullish on right now, Kush?
Definitely, because of the good monsoon reports, I think all consumer durables are having a good time today. Titan, I think, can be bought at current levels because already Tata Consumer and they have all given a breakout day before yesterday. So Titan is a good buy. Currently, it's taking support of 10-day average. So 32.20 can be the stop loss on Titan, and target on the upside for short term would be 3400.
Okay, got that. Kush, we are approaching the expiry for the September series. What would be your suggestion to all the traders who trade the Nifty and the Nifty Bank for the rest of the 3 days remaining ahead of the expiry? And your thoughts on where can we see the expiry this time around?
I think next 3 days are going to be quite volatile, and I'm personally biased on the downside. I think we are going to break the support of 19,600, and we may get expiry around 19,400. So maybe if you are long on portfolios for long term, you can hedge your portfolios by buying 19,500 puts for Thursday expiry. It is trading around 34 to 40 rupees. So it's a good hedge, and I think even a good trade for short term. So I think we are going to see more crackdown in coming 3 days.
Okay. One counter before I leave, before we end this discussion, and that is the top mover on the Nifty index, and that is Bajaj Finance. High ticket price item, 7,811 currently, 4.5% higher in trade. Would you still be a buyer at this level on Bajaj Finance? What is the outlook that you have?
Definitely, it is almost near to 52-week high, but I on the news that they are going to raise more capital. But I think at current levels, I will be cautious because new entrant Geo Financial will be giving a good hard time in festive season. So definitely not at current levels. But yes, if I get this stock around 7,400, I would buy it for long term. For short term, I would sit on the sidelines on this stock.
Okay, got that. Well, many thanks, Kush, then for being with us on the show and discussing all these insights about the markets and the outlook going forward from here. Markets absolutely flat. On the Nifty, it's just a 1 point down tick at 19,672. 4 points higher on the sensex, 66,012. So it's absolutely flat trade that you're seeing in the markets. We pulled off from the day's low point, and that's the good part. But where do we go from here? Is it going to be a largely sideways trade going forward from here? And which are the pockets that you should be focusing on? We'll continue to track the market movement for you and get you expert views of finding out where exactly should you be putting in your money in stock market. So do stay tuned with us on Business Today TV all day long. You can keep getting insights from the world of business and stock markets. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.